Hello. Welcome to another video. There was a video before this one, and there's going to be another one after it. So welcome, and thank you for joining me for this video. As you can see, there's something going on back here. As promised, I've spent the last couple weeks building this. This is my bed platform. It's here. It's not done, but it's here. It was a lengthy process. I spent most of the last couple weeks, or like since the last video upload, taking a bunch of stuff out of my car and putting in those insulation panels in the windows, and I fixed the ones up on the ceiling. I'll show clips of like all the work I did. What? Where? What? 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 Alright, I got it. Check this out. This is the outer aluminum of the car. And this is the wheel well. There's a lot of space back here. That is gonna be the door latch right there. And it goes deep in there. But if I cut a custom piece of wood, stick it in there, this could be a nice little storage area. Nice little, put something there. I got a 12-volt connector here. This is where the little light was. I freaking cut it out before I realized I could just disconnect it. This 12-volt here, potentially. Where is that going? What the hell? What the hell? Seriously? Oh my god. I might want to redo that. Are you for real? I mean, there's also this. That's fantastic. It's not that bad. This one's intact, but that's crazy. Somebody must have accidentally cut that at some point. And well, I'll probably end up relocating this and sticking it in the new wall here, wherever it is. So I guess that's fine. I'm probably gonna end up redoing this wiring anyway. This one was the speaker. This is the light. Don't know what this is. Yeah. Anyway, good progress. Got the speaker out of there. I might end up just kind of leaving this side as is. I already took this off. I took all of this off. I might end up taking this off as well. Yeah, I probably will. I cut across here just for convenience, so I wouldn't have to go all the way down there. But we've got lots of attachment points where I can get some pieces of wood in. Fuck it. Finally, dude. Yeah, this is where my hammock was. I just took it down. That's my hammock. Yeah, this is not good. I even bent the metal here, so I'm gonna have to buy 10 feet of gasket and just replace this whole thing, because I don't think I can get a small enough section just to cut this out and put it here. Plus, you know, you want to seal it, so I'll just replace the whole thing, just pull this whole thing off. Sucks, it's gonna rain tomorrow, really bad storm tomorrow, so I need to get this fixed today. But yeah, I mean, it's a mess in here, but I have a clear idea, or mostly clear idea, of where my bed is gonna go and what else I want to take out. By the way, if anybody wants a speaker, I don't know what to do with this. I'm probably gonna take the ones out of the both of the passenger doors in the back, and try to sell all three of them together, because it's not like, I don't want to throw it away. It's a perfectly good speaker, but it's a perfectly good piece of electronics, but I don't have, you know, it's too cheap to just sell it by itself. But I know there are people who buy stuff like this and like make sound systems and whatever, so yeah, I'm probably gonna take a lot of these door panels off. This is where my bed is gonna go. I'm probably gonna take this upholstery off and have the board sit right here, lock into this thing, so that it doesn't move and nobody can open my door, and this will give it some support. And probably have to stuff something in here so that this doesn't accidentally open, but yeah. Alright, so here's what I've done so far. I've taken a whole bunch of plastic paneling off of that over there. I took the speaker out. I inserted new insulation along with vinyl in that window, this one here, and this one here. That one is done, but I just did these other three today, so these are still, it's still curing. I have this back hatch window covered up. This is an old piece of insulation. This is some, I think, some stuff that I used to kill the bed bugs. I gotta clean that off. And this is newer insulation. I still have another panel that's new right there that I could possibly use to fill this up. And I'm planning on using the old insulation panels under the floor. But I'm gonna need, and I have enough vinyl for this, but I'm gonna wait until I grab a few more of those before I do this back window. And I need to do the top as well. There's just some stuff shoved in there right now, but I want to cover the front half and the back half as well, put vinyl along there. I don't think I have enough vinyl for this and the top skylight, but I definitely have enough for this, but I can grab some more vinyl. It was on clearance. This is an old insulation panel. I'm gonna put that under the floor probably. Speaking of floor, I took the upholstery up out of this back area. Yeah, I'm gonna have to vacuum in here. Found a whole bunch of coins. Yeah, I'm gonna have to vacuum in here. I'll probably end up taking this panel off too, so that it matches this side. But I think I'm still gonna keep everything above this line intact, including if I take off this panel here. There's this line here. Above it is the airbag and the seatbelt control. You can see the seatbelt back here too. That orange tag is on the seatbelt mechanism. And I would like to take that out, but I don't really want to mess with this panel because they both have the airbags behind them, both the back and this one. And, you know, I don't mind pulling the airbags out of the back. I would like to keep them in the front. I don't mind pulling them out of the back. It's just that airbags are like really dangerous and I wouldn't want to touch them unless I know what I'm doing. So maybe I'll do some research on that. How to remove the airbag and if it's even legal for me to do that. Even though I don't have passengers back here, it might not be legal for me to take the airbags out. But in any case, I'm probably not going to mess with them anyway. I'm probably just going to keep that there. If I want to take the seatbelt out, I might cut this. But that would also affect the pressure fit on the window. So I'd have to take that out and find another way to stick it in there if I removed all of that paneling. Unless I cut it like right here, but then that would leave like a whole bunch of empty space under it. So there's some considerations here. You know, it's not just like building a shed or a table or something. There's weird shapes and curves to deal with, and airbags and electronics and seatbelts and everything. So, yeah, if I don't end up taking the seatbelt mechanism out, I'll probably just pull it a little bit and then cut it and let it go back in there, and then it can just stay there. I mean, cutting seatbelts is not advisable. But nobody's using these. Nobody's using these seatbelts. Nobody's using that one either. I used that one to hold down my e-bike when I used to have an e-bike. Anyway, this gasket, I didn't have enough money to get a replacement gasket, but it did storm on Friday and it was fine. Nothing leaked. I think once this door is closed, it actually pushes it in there just enough. I will replace this gasket eventually, but ew, I just touched all that. Ew, gross. I will replace this eventually, but it's working just fine right now, and I don't have the money. I have like $6 in my account right now, and I'm only getting 20 from the fundraiser. It's one of the lowest amounts that I've gotten from the fundraiser. But anyway, this is what I did today, and I took out the floor. I'm probably going to move all this stuff over and take some pictures and do some drawings and try to plan out how my floor is going to be. These metal things sticking up, I considered cutting them off, but they're actually really good like support, and the insulation fits in between here really nicely, just as it was cut for the windows. So, you know, I'll probably keep those there, and I'll use these as maybe anchor points, or before I was using these things as anchor points, these two little nodules here. It was this board that was in there, and I had just cut a couple little holes to stick in there, and then I screwed it in on either side, and this was sitting on top of it, along with little bracer pieces here, which I also took off. I can probably reuse these. Obviously, I'm keeping all of the wood and whatever, I'm gonna reuse them. But yeah, this is holding nicely, you know, as expected. It never fell out before. Really, that back hatch window is the one that's most likely to fall out. And usually it does it when I close the window. Yeah. This one I had to tape in because it kept falling out, and it's still kind of loose. That one's just pressure fit in there right now. You know, there's some tape right here. There is a piece of fabric back here that's got a whole bunch of tape on it too. I did a real hack job on this back window is what I'm trying to say, with a bunch of tape. But it can all come out. That panel's good. This panel can go under the floor. I'll cut another one like it. Maybe I'll even put a little door here to act as like a little peeking window. Who knows? Don't know what I'm gonna do with this or this just yet. This is a good little storage bin, but it takes up a lot of space. It comes up all the way to here, and everything underneath here needs to be flat, or that doesn't lay flat, which is annoying. And it hasn't been laying flat because I've got this speaker in here and my tools that don't fit in the thing. So I don't know, I might end up getting rid of that and just using this. I'm gonna end up getting rid of the tire anyway. I just need to decide if I'm gonna try to give the rim to a shop so they can have the rim, but the tire itself it's done for, so I can throw that away. I'll probably end up throwing this away too. I might just end up getting like a toolbox for my stuff instead. But I do want to use this bottom space down here. A lot of it is being taken up by this tire and these tools. And this could be, you know, a deep storage. I was thinking, you know, the bed is going to come right here, right across the right side of the console all the way down here. It's going to be on top of this. So it's going to be about this height. It's going to end about here. And maybe, you know, I can have it lift up so I can reach the storage down there. I can reach in there, build something over the top of this, have, you know, storage down there. I might build a box in here, or I don't know, I might leave it round, but round sides are just really hard to deal with. So we'll see. I might build like an octagon or something if I have the tools and the money for it. I doubt I'm going to. But anyway, yeah. It looks like a mess, but you know, it's good progress so far, especially considering the money constraints I'm dealing with. So yeah, that's the update so far. Pretty good. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. Probably clean this up a little bit and take some pictures and do some drawings, and then probably I should take the seatbelt out. It's gonna get in my way, but I need to figure out how to keep these wires good to make sure that I don't have a whole bunch of exposed wires. I will probably end up putting, you know, studs here, like right here, and then wall. But I don't know, we'll have to see and I probably will take that off too, just to give me more room over there. But my main priority right now is still the bed, because I took the hammock out, so I'm sleeping in the front seat. And yeah, I need to get a bed in here. I need to get a bed in here, like ASAP. So this is what I'm working with. I want wood over this, but this is the attachment point, and this metal right here, up on the top too, and on the other side, interfaces with this gasket right here. But this is squishy, so there's a little bit of room for like a tiny, I can even get my finger in there when the door is closed. And there's this other, actually kind of two gaskets that go over here. So if this one doesn't work, these might do the job, especially this one. So I'm not too concerned about this gasket, which means I think I can put a piece of wood right here. And I basically just, you know, drill a hole here in the four corners and use some of these screws that I got here or something. And the thing is, like, the other thing I was thinking was clips, which would be just like a piece of metal, like the wood would go here and a piece of metal would screw in and just sort of clip it in place. But the issue is that this insulation is already flush with this edge. So I wouldn't be able to, I'd have to use a clip that has like a bend in it, which I guess that's not impossible. And I can take all this stuff away and fold this vinyl over so that it doesn't get in the way when it's time. Bottom's not an issue. I can just put the wood here, screw it in here, screw it in here, here, and here. But I don't know if that's gonna ruin the gasket. Clips would be nice, wouldn't look as good. Might also ruin the gasket anyway, so I don't know if it would even be worth it. And the thing is, this gasket is effective like on this edge here, right? So the water comes in and it gets caught here and then flows off and down. So I don't think putting a piece of wood in here is really going to affect it. But then again, if this gets wet, the wood could get soaked and moldy, and that would be an issue. I don't know. Okay, so here's my current dilemma. This is essentially the height that I was thinking of putting the bed at. Basically, it would be resting on this and the top of this, and it would be about this height. It's crooked, but whatever. But I realized that there's not enough space for me to sit. It kind of looks like I should be able to sit like cross-legged on that, but I sat on the edge of this and I realized that even this distance right here is too short. It's about 20 or 30 inches. And I need 36 inches from where my butt is when I'm sitting to the top of my head is 3 feet. That's not enough room for me to sit on this, and I don't want to be hunched over all the time. And crazy enough, this is 3 feet right here. And this distance from here to here is a little bit less than 3 feet. So I could sit here, and I remember when I built my car out before, I was sitting on top of a floor. It was actually this piece of wood, but the floor was, you know, about that height. So I could sit there, I could sit there, I could make my bed lower and get rid of some of this headspace here. I'm not sure I want to do that because the sleeping mats you can buy are about 20 inches wide. You can get 20-inch wide ones, and that's 20 inches right there. So, you know, the sleeping pad would definitely fit. I think it would still fit, but I don't want to get one and then realize it's too wide, or it's not wide enough, and have to like cut and do a bunch of sewing and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna, first of all, take some measurements, more detailed measurements, because I know like the length from here to there and like how long I want the bed to be. I know that width. I know the width of the vehicle in general. I just wasn't really checking the height when I did measurements before. So I gotta measure around this thing and see what I'm gonna do with it, because this is, I don't want to cut this out. The tire is underneath that, so in fact there's going to be some thickness added to it because I'm going to add some insulation. Probably not this stuff. It's probably going to be something more similar to this, and this came off of the car, so I might reuse that. But anyway, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna reuse this board. I need to get some sandpaper and sand the other side of it, but I'm made some cuts where I'm gonna, or some marks where I'm gonna cut all this excess off, and maybe I can use that for something. But yeah, that's where I'm at. All right, so I just took this side out, the plastic. It's the same as the other side, and I kept the insulation this time because I've been thinking, how am I gonna cover up these wires? I'll just cover them the way they were covered before, with the insulation. And I got the upholstery out from back here. I got everything that's not necessary, you know, out basically. And I think this is as much deconstruction as I'm gonna do, unless I decide to take the doors, and I probably will. I'll probably at least take the speakers out and take this bottom cup thing off to give myself some more room. Now you might be wondering, why not take this out too? You know, I could cut metal, I could cut this out, and you know, I could cut this out and have even more room. That's the gas tank. The gas tank is under there. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. That's the gas tank. And I thought maybe this was enough space for another speaker, but I realized that there's metal underneath the plastic. It's taking up some space because that is my gas cap. So yeah, I can't go in there. In fact, probably the gas tank is through this hole. So I'm gonna be very careful. I'm gonna be filling up this space with insulation anyway, and the floor is gonna be about this height, like the height of this and this. So all of this stuff is gonna get covered up. All of these holes down and everything is gonna get covered up. And I'll probably use this as attachment points, and this as well. This, you know, but yeah, this is all the room I've got, and I've been making some measurements and trying to plan and making measurements the whole time, but more and more measurements because I realized I'm not going to be able to sit on my bed. So I'm pretty sure the bed is going to be at that height right there. It's going to come about to the left side of this central thing here, the right side of the console, stretch across there, and then I can sit here. I'll probably sit either, well, I'll have to see. I'll probably sit right here, have like storage back here, underneath there, and under here. And this can go further forward, but it doesn't really need to because that's about where the wall is going to be. And maybe I could have some counter, have my kitchen set up here. That's basically where it was before. I think that's, I mean, now that I have everything out and I'm really looking at the space that I have, I think that is going to be the best spot for the kitchen, because I've got this cooktop, which I could, you know, just put somewhere. It would probably be a little further back here. I'm not gonna, you know, some of this door is gonna be taken up, but like it'll go probably about there. The sink will go over there, or maybe the cooktop will go over here, and the sink will go right here. I don't know, but this just needs a bottle of propane or yeah, propane, I think, screwed into the bottom of this, and I can have a space underneath it for that, right? But yeah, it's not gonna be, and the fridge would probably go under there too, as long as it fits. I don't know if it'll fit. I'm gonna build a floor down there, put insulation. I've already cut the insulation to fit down there. I've cut some of the insulation to fit here. I redid this. I redid the ceiling with 2 pieces instead of the 2 pieces and then the wedge thing I had. There's a little bit of space there, but I'll fill it up, put the vinyl up there. I also took this plastic thing that was on here off. Wasn't even screwed in. It was like double taped, and it was very, very strong. But I'm gonna probably screw some wood into that as a basis for my wall, and then the wall can come right down here, just right down here, and then have all my stuff here. I need to figure out like what position I'm gonna want this in. But honestly, once I put the bed platform in, and I should be able to do that next time when I get some wood and something better to cut the wood with. But I should be able to actually put the bed platform in next time, or the time after I build. But the weather's not going to be very good tomorrow, so I don't know if I'm going to be building tomorrow. But yeah, that's the update. I've taken out pretty much everything I'm going to take out, except maybe going to do those doors. And I'll probably have to do the door, at least that door, before I put the bed in. So tomorrow, take the speaker out. I got the other one over there. That one's a little bigger. Okay. This is the worst thing I've ever done. Don't judge me, alright? I wanted to take the seatbelt off, and I did it. I cut all of this panel off, and then I saw that there's actually an explosive charge under here for the seatbelt tensioner. And I don't want to mess with that, because if I take that thing out, even if I turn the battery off, once I turn the battery back on, the airbags are going to go off, and that explosive charge is going to go off. So I wanted to see how low down I could take the seatbelt off, and it turns out this visible part right here is where I could just cut the threads and pull it out. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'll probably cut this cable, but I didn't want this explosive charge to be exposed and out in the open, so I just glued this back on. I just glued the panel back on, and you know what? It's actually pretty good. It's pretty solid. It's basically, you know, welding, but for plastic. On the plus side, this little rubber thing I took off the seatbelt gave me a perfect place to put my wrenches. Finally, because they were just flying around all loose with a hair tie. It's good. Okay, so this is what I got now. This frame, that's 6 feet by 2 feet, and I've got these little brackets here, these little, they're not brackets, whatever they are, that are gonna slot into the door handles. And I've got these in, ready to hold it up. They're not very secure. They can come out. I didn't find anything to screw them down to, so instead what I did, I haven't vacuumed the front of the passenger seat of the car yet, but I just put some screws in like this, and those go into these little holes here. And it's not the most secure thing, especially because this 2x4 just fucking came loose, but I'm gonna screw these from the top, hopefully screw that frame in, or just go straight through my bed platform. I've also cut cut this, have these little things on the sides because it was the floor there and it had some notches out, but I cut all that stuff off and now it should be 4 feet, and then I've got this extra 2x2 board that's going to complete it. And so it should be pretty modular. I should be able to sort of take this platform out or just take the top off or whatever. But yeah, that's where I'm at now. I've been doing a lot today. This is actually the first time I'm building anything in here. Most of what I'm doing, or what I've done so far, is just taking stuff out. But the weather's gonna be bad for like a week after this. All right, here it is. This is just what I could get done for today. It's supported over there. It's supported right here. It's supported right there by that thing, which could very easily bend out of place, but I don't think it's going to. Supported right here. This is a shit job. I'm gonna fix that later. And then it's supported over here. So let's put this on there and see how it fits. Well, these are 2 different thicknesses. I didn't take that into account, but that really shouldn't be an issue with the sleeping pad on. I bought that today, by the way. It doesn't look very comfortable, but you know, sleeping pads just aren't. There's a little bit of extra room down there. Looks like this isn't fully 6 feet, so I probably cut this big board smaller than 4. Hold on, I can check. In any case, it looks good for sleeping. Yeah, that's a lot less than 4 feet. But, oh well, that's not a big deal. I could always replace this board or just get like a 6-foot version of this kind of thing. This looks like it's actually plenty thick to hold me, so. But yeah, these fit pretty much how I was hoping. What I'll probably do, if I do use this board, is cut some notches in each side so that it can slide in here and then just sort of slide along and it won't move side to side. And yeah, but I should be able to put my sleeping pad on that and sleep tonight, which is fantastic. Let's see if I can sit on it. Yeah, looking good. Again, this is why I didn't want to sit on the bed once it was done, but there was a slightly scary click when I sat down, but nope, we're good here, and we're definitely good over here. Can I lay down on it? Oh yeah. Yeah. My head's gonna go down there. Hold on. Let's go the other way. Yeah, this is sturdy, and it's plenty of room. All right, mission accomplished. I hope this thing is good. It does not look very comfortable, but you know, I'll put a blanket on top of it. I got a pillow. I looked for other sleeping pads too, and all of the ones they had were either like 26 inches wide or something like that, or 28, or they were inflatable, and I didn't really want an inflatable one, so I got this instead. This might be temporary. I might return it if I find something better. But yeah, I gotta pack all this stuff up because this park is closing in 5 minutes, and I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put that, because it's supposed to go down here. As you can see, this space is a little occupied at the moment, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Yeah, this is what it looks like all packed up so far. Let's try to ignore that. Yeah, that's the bed. Takes up half of the vehicle. It doesn't come all the way through here or all the way to here. which I could make it do that, but I don't really feel like it. I probably just use this as like some storage space, like I'm doing right now. This tire fits in here this way. All my stuff fits on that side. There's also still lots of room underneath. Right now I just have the insulation down there, and this entire bed and the platform should be able to lift up and pull out of here without too much difficulty. But all of the pieces are now attached to each other, except for these, obviously. But yeah, looking good. I'm excited to sleep on it tonight and not have to sleep in my driver's seat. But there's gonna be some bad weather. I might do some work on the inside even with the bad weather if I can, because it's not insulated right now. It's just bare wood under there. And I would like to, you know, insulate the floors properly, insulate in here properly, insulate down there properly. But that's gonna be there's gonna be a lot of insulating, and I need to get some more wood to put on top of the insulation anyway, if I'm gonna put some down on the floor. But all right, yeah, that's what it's looking like so far. Pretty happy with it, pretty satisfied, even though it was kind of a temporary little job. But I'll be able to improve it once the weather gets better. Here's what it looks like in the driver's seat right now. This comes out a little bit less than I thought it would. I thought it was going to go all the way to the end of this door handle, but it comes out right here, which is fine. More room right here for me to put my stuff. All my stuff is down there. And yeah, you might also notice that this doesn't open anymore. I don't really have anything important in here right now, but I will probably do something about this. I don't know what, but I'm gonna have to do something about it, because that's not cool. I need to be able to open that. If I could just lift the bed up and open it that way, that wouldn't be too bad. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about that. Probably just, you know, just take a chunk out. It's gonna affect the structural integrity, but I could potentially put another bar. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to see that right now, but I could potentially put another support beam under here and just kind of chunk out some of this stuff to make sure that this can still open. This slides all the way to about an inch into this, and this is a 1x3, I think, so this should be 3 inches. So it's about an inch into this, which I think that will give me enough room to just barely open it, but I might also have to cut a chunk out of whatever platform I end up using. And it's fine, because my foot can actually rest on this. I don't mind that. One issue I might have is, move my bedding out here. One issue I might have is if I am sleeping and I press this lever, you can't see it, but that opens the window on the other side of this insulation. I don't want to do that, so I might build some kind of little cover for this, or maybe just stuff something in. I can show you how it works on this side. Maybe just stuff something in here. Excuse all the ash, this is right next to my ashtray. But if I just kind of stuff something in here and maybe even prop it up like that, that won't be a problem anymore. But I do want to be able to open the windows if I need to. But yeah. Okay, goodbye. Dude, flat bed. Oh, this is not very comfortable. This stuff, it's really like, why would you make it like that? But I put this, it's like 3 times folded, and I have my other blanket and my pillow over there. Flat bed. It actually looks really inviting compared to how I've been sleeping. Oh dude, flat bed. It's kind of shitty right now. It's a little shaky. I need to put like a cross brace or something in there to keep it from rotating. But it's, you know, it's what I was hoping for. It's a bed platform and it's a place to sleep. I slept on it last night, but I only had this this green foam pad last night and it wasn't very comfortable. But today I got this inflatable. I really didn't want an inflatable. I was hoping for just like thicker foam or more comfortable foam. I don't know why this one is bumpy, for example, and it's really thin and not very soft. So it's kind of like, I don't know what the point of this is, but underneath the inflatable, it does provide a little bit of extra cushion. So I laid on this once I inflated it up, and yeah, I've got a little memory foam pillow back there that I'll probably return because it's a little smaller than I was expecting, and it's really expensive for its size. Memory foam is like that, but like anytime there's like a compact thing that's like advertised as smaller than other things like it, like, oh, small travel pillow, why is it $5 more if it's smaller, right? Like, why? So I'll probably return that and just get a normal pillow. And I'm definitely gonna return this air pump I got because it doesn't even interface with the valve. I had to do this with my mouth. Because this is some like patent pending, like fancy indie company from Utah or whatever that made this, and their valve is weird, and it doesn't interface with a standard air pump, which is really stupid. But I just blew it up with my mouth and laid on it, and it's pretty comfortable. I'm hoping it's going to be a comfortable sleep because last night was not very comfortable. You know, it's just wood under here, so but there's a few other modifications I need to make. I need to make it a little more sturdy, and I need to get these boards, these wooden boards that are on top of it even, because they're different thicknesses right now, and this one's not long enough, so I need to buy a little more wood. And all of my stuff is just back here on the left side or underneath the bed, and you know, it takes up a pretty sizable amount. Like, it takes up half of my car, basically, almost half of my car. And I mean, I knew that was gonna happen, but there is plenty of space underneath it for me to put some stuff. So there's still plenty of storage. I haven't put any countertops or anything in. You'll see in one of the clips I talk about how I can't actually sit on this bed like I thought I'd be able to because there's not enough space. I'd be like leaning over and like this all the time, so I can't sit on this, so I'm gonna have to think of some other layout, and I've been thinking about that, how I'm gonna cook and have my countertops and everything. But yeah, I mean, the bed is it. I'm very happy I'm not gonna have to sleep on my driver's seat anymore, although I was thinking about still sleeping on my driver's seat last night because it was so uncomfortable with just this little green mat. But hopefully this is better. I really didn't want an inflatable. I really just wanted some foam because inflatables tend to, like, their seams tend to break and they uninflate in the middle of the night, and I don't want to deal with that. But, you know, it is what it is. It's good enough for now. So yeah, that's where we're at. You may be able to see that there's a bunch of wires and just bare metal over here because I took all the plastic out. The installation, you can also see, is a little more secure, a little better back there. Especially was really bad, and I just fully replaced all of those. But I still have the old panels that were in there because I can put them in the floor. But yeah, yeah, this is what I've been doing. Mostly deconstructing a lot of my car. But I did this platform in about a day, about 4 or 5 hours of work. So when it's time to put in the countertops and everything like that, it shouldn't take too long. Part of why it took so long to just get this done is because I was kind of broke for most of it. I just got a bunch of money a couple days ago, and that helped me get all the stuff that I needed to finally finish or whatever. But drill bits are like $6 fucking. Like, for a little tiny drill bit, it's like $3 to $6 depending on the size. It's ridiculous. Things are so expensive, and I was super broke, and so I was having trouble finding things that fit with other things, and yeah. But I got it done finally. And again, it's not the most sturdy thing, but it's good enough. I slept on it last night, and yeah, once the weather gets a little better, it's really cold today, and it's gonna be, we have a winter weather advisory for the next like week or so, like something like that. So the weather's not great. I really wanted to finish this bed up yesterday, and I did, because I know I wasn't gonna be able to get any work done with the weather. It's cloudy and dreary out right now, and probably gonna snow later, or rain a little bit, freezing rain, I don't know. So I wanted to get this done so that I have somewhere to sleep, because I've been sleeping in my driver's seat ever since I took the hammock out. Yeah, the hammock is gone too. But anyway, that's what I've been doing. That's the update. I feel pretty good about this. I am very happy that I have some work to do. I was frustrated mostly on the days when I wasn't able to get any work done because I was broke, or because like I needed to buy something, I didn't have the money for it, or because of the weather. Like, I don't like that it took this long. I definitely could have gotten this done in like 3 days if I had the money and the good weather for it, but it took a little longer. But the most important thing is done, and now I just have to figure out how I'm gonna put like a little kitchen setup in here, where I'm gonna sit, what kind of like fridge I can maybe get. But that's all gonna be stuff in the future, because again, bad weather, and I don't have the money. I do have enough money. It's gonna last me a couple weeks on just survival, right? Just buying gas and food. But if I'm gonna be spending it on like improving my car, then the next thing I would want to get is the power system. Actually, the next thing I would want to put in is probably the kitchen, because that's not gonna require solar power, but I am gonna eventually need a solar power setup, and I don't have enough money for that right now. I very rarely have enough money for things like that. I'm hoping like my fundraiser gets a whole bunch of donations one month, and then I just have like the $600 to $800 that I'm gonna need for that solar power setup. I might pay a shop to put some rails up on my car so I can mount the solar panels, or I might figure out how to do that myself. But yeah, that's, you know, the next major purchase. But having like a little kitchen in here with like a little propane powered stove and a sink with like a foot pump, that doesn't require any electricity. So that I can do, and hopefully I can start cooking. I'll get a cast iron, maybe a wok, and probably a saucepan. And as far as like, you know, the basic cooking utensils, a little spatula and wooden spoon and all this stuff, and that's all I'm gonna need. And cast iron pans and woks, they don't need to be cleaned. In fact, you shouldn't clean them, because they're seasoned pots or pans, which means you season them and then you don't wash them. The soap does not touch them. So I mean, obviously you wipe the food grime out and everything, but you don't actually wash them. So that's ideal for me, because I'm not gonna have enough room to be able to, you know, soak a bunch of dishes and everything. But a saucepan, I can fill it up with soapy water, warm soapy water, let it soak for a while, dump it outside or into my gray water tank, wherever that's gonna be. And, you know, saucepan is not too difficult to clean, but I don't want to have, I feel like having a cast iron and a wok is enough. Like, I can cook anything I want, really, with those two things, and a saucepan. And an oven would be nice. But I don't think an oven is gonna fit here. Like a little toaster oven, if I can fit a little toaster oven in here and I can afford it one day, I probably will do that. Because having a little oven for like my steaks and like maybe baking some little things, pretty good. But, you know, the power consumption and then the size of it, and, you know, it would be kind of a pain. But with a cast iron and a wok and a saucepan, I might not even need the wok. I mean, wok is nice for certain things, but like almost anything I want to cook, I could cook in a cast iron pan and a saucepan. So yeah, I'm gonna have to also figure out how I'm gonna do storage. I have some ideas for keeping things from moving around too much. And I'd like to have like wooden storage rather than plastic shelves and stuff, especially for like my dishes, because I don't want to have, you know, a cast iron pan sitting inside one of those plastic shelves. What I had before was plastic shelving. I had it all the way, all across the back. I had some shorter ones where the foot of the hammock was, and then I had the taller ones on the other side, and I put my clothes in there, I put my seasonings in there, I put my dishes in there, but they were plastic, and, you know, moving around and, you know, bumping into each other. And I even put a strap on each one that I could Velcro so it'd keep the drawers closed, but it didn't really keep the drawers closed all that much, so sometimes things would still sort of bounce out, and it was a pain, and it was not very sturdy. It was cheap, but it was not very sturdy. So I would like to build, hopefully, some like actual wooden shelving and like cabinetry and stuff. So so I don't have to deal with plastic. But yeah, that's gonna be a future thing. Right now, I'm very happy at least that I have the bed to sleep on, and this is fairly comfortable. Tomorrow, I'm gonna return this air pump because it doesn't work with this stupid valve thing that this thing has. And I can just use my mouth. And I might return that pillow. I'm gonna sleep on it tonight, but I might return it tomorrow because I do have my own regular pillow, and I mean, that pillow was like $8 or $9. Wait. It was $9.97. It was $10 for that tiny little pillow. I don't know if you can really properly see it, but it's like this big, and it's memory foam. It's really comfortable, but it's like this thin. It's like this big. I can get a regular sized pillow that will do the job. Sleeping on this driver's seat for like 2 weeks straight sucked. It sucked. I really missed the hammock, but the hammock is gone. Actually, the hammock is not gone. It's back there because it's still a perfectly good hammock. So I might sell it or give it to somebody. But it's just rolled up in the back and stored in the back. But yeah, let me get into this bed. Let me get on here and show you guys. I'm 5'4". That's my height. This is 6 feet. These boards that are holding it, they're 6 feet. I measured them. One of them is actually like 2 inches longer than 6 feet. So it's not actually rectangular because I didn't feel like cutting it. But anyway. This is that pillow. All right. If you want to financially support me so that I can continue to improve this setup and continue to make this car into my home again, I'll have links in the description and probably on screen. And thank you so much for watching, and have a peaceful day.